And just the final point that was made about cross-disciplinarity, and I think that is really important, because that actually is also a way of increasing the numbers and the interest and engagement of women into science and engineering careers. And some work at Imperial College supported that. When they were actually looking at multidisciplinarity, it really increased student motivation on the courses which were interdisciplinary.
I can see this will keep going for a while. Anthony, you wanted just to...
Well, I want to agree wholeheartedly with my colleague in the red jacket, and she knew I would anyway.
Right.
And I want to pick up on this social point. So I've spent quite a bit of time with artists, designers, and social scientists, and what's increasingly apparent to me is scientists and engineers can solve any problem. We can come up with a technically, so we can make something work, we can get a technical solution. It might cost too much, it might not be deliverable, and most importantly, it might not be socially acceptable. And I think that issue of how we engage the brains that can provide technical solutions with people who understand what might or might not be acceptable is as important as whether you can take something to market, whether you can make money out of it. It's just so important. Will people use it?
Can I just chip into that?
Right.
Just a quick story about a company that we worked with. There was a spin out of one of the top universities in the country, and it's your siloed point really brought to life in a startup of no more than 5 people. So we had a couple of engineers, a scientist, the business developer MD going out getting the contracts, and someone looking at the market research, and they'd hired some MBA students to do their market research as well. And one of the first sessions we ran with them with designers was, okay, so tell us about the product, what is it? And straight into the biosensor and the multi-analyte testing it could do in 5 seconds or whatever. And we kept coming back to, no, not what is it, but who is it for? What does that enable? What benefit is that going to bring someone? And when we sort of got to the point where actually this was a device that could be used in an accident situation where maybe the patient's unconscious, we need to do some rapid testing. And so, okay, so accident, so outside on the road, yeah, that's right, that sort of scenario. Okay, it's raining, silence. And one by one, you could see the lights going off, that this device would not work in that sort of context. And the fact is we had brilliant brains in the room, all of them were excellent. They hadn't looked at the same problem together. They'd all looked at their problem from their different specialities, their different areas of expertise. And what this exercise did through design was able to translate and bring to some sort of common shared understanding of what they were trying to do together, what problem they were trying to solve. And actually the product ended up being really successful, but in an A&E environment, in the hospital, not outside, at a road crash site where it's raining and the device would have fallen apart. Sounds simple, but it's just an example of how different, outcomes could be.
But before we make everyone jacks of all trade and masters of none, we must remember that to cross disciplines you have to have one.
You've got to have a core.
You have to have a core.
Right.
Yeah.
What we